Hey everyone, it's April 11th. I'm Adam, and this is your daily dose of today. All of your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. The man that said that back in the 1950s bought 25,000 acres out where I'm looking right now, and that was all swampland back then. But he had a dream and little money in his pocket, and what he sought out to do was create the happiest place on earth. And of course, that man is Walt Disney, and what I'm talking about is Walt Disney World. But he was very much a believer in believing in your dreams and pursuing them and realizing that life is full of successes and failures. Not everything that Walt Disney touched turned to gold. He had his own challenges. He's got a very interesting life, and I encourage you to look and read about it. But there's a few things I want to talk about. One is, obviously, there was no path blazed for him. Nothing like Walt Disney World existed at the time. So the mere concept of what he was trying to do was ludicrous to most. The fact that he was trying to do it was ludicrous to most. And the fact that where he was trying to put it was ludicrous to most, right? So what am I trying to say? He had a vision. He had a dream and he pursued it, but he had to shut out all the naysayers, right? He knew what he had in his dream. He believed in it and he pursued it relentlessly. And of course, we have all this now. But not only that, but he also recognized the importance of defeat or in setbacks and recognizing those as opportunities. Another famous quote that he has that I like, which is, the quote is, "You may not realize it at the time, but sometimes a kick in the teeth could be the best thing that ever happened to you." Isn't that what we talk about here? And it's very true, right? Those setbacks can sometimes be like, man, I didn't see that coming. And we can learn from those things, and it can help us grow. Or maybe, we're on a dead course and we were on the wrong course and we hit that brick wall. And we wake up and like, wow, I'm glad I found that out now rather than later. And so all these things can be opportunities, though they hurt emotionally or mentally sometimes at the time. It takes us a little while to get over. When we lick our wounds, we can take that as an opportunity to get better. But keeping in the vein of competition this week too, I'm looking out in the distance, and yes, I see the wonderful castle where Cinderella lives way off in the distance. But you know what's in my immediate foreground? Competition. Universal Studios is literally across the street there. I see the Hogwarts castle, and of course everybody's crazy for that right now. I see the cityscape. Literally, I can see the Hard Rock right now as I'm looking out past my camera. But the competition built right there, built right on his doorstep. Let me ask you, does Disney World suffer from that competition, or does it benefit? You think about it, right? I look at it right now at all these hotels that are built up, and I can see so many hotels. I see not only Universal Studios and Walt Disney World, but I see Aquatica, I see SeaWorld, I see all these other little amusement parks and go-kart rides and all this stuff all around it. All this stuff built up there. And yes, Disney World was the one that started it, but all these other things being bought up or being built up, which are effectively the competition, it helps. Think, when you're going to Orlando, or if you come down here and done this, unless you have little tiny kids, you might do exclusively Walt Disney World. But as your kids get older, what do? You might do a couple days here, you might do a couple days in Universal Studios. So yeah, are they competing for the same dollars because you only have so many days on vacation and you only have so much money to spend? Sure. But don't you think that they've actually, because of their co-opetition, if you will, in building Orlando up into this huge mega stream, now instead of coming down to here and saying, I'm going to spend 3 days on a vacation, you try and plan a whole week because there's so much to do. So the net effect is that more money is being spent. They all benefit from it because you're not only coming here for the Disney experience, you're coming here for the Orlando experience. And of course, all the benefits of the people who live here and et cetera. But from a Disney perspective, the fact that Universal Studios built the Hogwarts and revamped a lot of their rides and stuff and draws people in, that helps Disney. Sure, there's probably some competitive dollars that are swapped out, but the net effect is there. And what do I talk about all the time? A rising tide lifts all boats. So look, yes, be competitive. Yes, set out your goals to be the best, right? Which means beating others, right? You can't dismiss that. But if you work on increasing yourself and on your own excellence and pursue that, and pursue it religiously, relentlessly, go after your goals and get it. If you believe in them, believe all the way. I forget, there's another great quote of Disney's that's along those effects, but talks about the power of actually fully believing in your goals and not halfway believing in the importance of that. And if I just look at that, and I'll close with that, the famous words of a cricket, thanks to courtesy of Disney, right? But if you believe in your dreams and if you wish upon a star, then it doesn't matter who you are. Any wish your heart desires can come to you. This has been your Daily Dose of Today.